From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Anne Waodo.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, concerned PDP leaders, including Atiku Abubakar, David Mark and Sule Lamido, meet in Abuja, call for broad coalition ahead of 2027 elections. St. Lucia confers its highest national honor, Knight Commander of the Order of St. Lucia, on President Bola Tinubu. House of Representatives raises alarm over armed bandits' free movement in Niger, urges Chief of Defense Staff's intervention. And Republicans in the Senate narrowly passed President Donald Trump's domestic agenda bill. And on business, Nigeria's business growth slows to 7-month low as cost pressures persist despite easing inflation.
On sports news tonight, Arsenal completes a deal to sign Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga after triggering the £5 million release clause in his contract.
And from the nation's capital, Vice President Kashim Shettima assures FCT Minister Nyesom Wike of President Tinubu's backing for FCT infrastructure development.
We begin in the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory, where notable leaders of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, met behind closed doors to discuss the current state of the party and, of course, the country. Chaired by former Senate President David Mark, the meeting held behind closed doors also had former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Sule Lamido, former National Chairman Prince Uche Secondus, Lael Imoke, Babangida Liu, Sam Egu, Olagunseyo Ilola, and Senator Abdul Ningi, all in attendance. They wouldn't address the press afterwards, but a communique issued by the group expressed a deep concern over the PDP's decline since its loss in the 2023 presidential election and the resignation of Dr. Iyorchia Ayu as the national chairman. The note that the party has struggled with internal divisions and a failure to follow its constitution, leading to instability and loss of direction. The group also accused the APC-led federal government of undermining democracy by using state institutions to weaken the opposition. Well, according to that communique, the PDP has been significantly weakened, with many of its elected officials abandoning the party under pressure, threats, and political patronage from the ruling party. The leaders also call on the PDP members and patriotic Nigerians to come together in a broad coalition committed to national unity, democratic principles, security, economic recovery, and a strong fight against corruption. They also emphasized the need for coalition partners to develop strategies that reflect both national and local political realities in preparation for future elections. The House of Representatives is drawing the attention of impending security crisis in Niger State, and this follows the urgent call on the Chief of Defense Staff to deploy the military to flush out the bandits. And this follows a motion of urgent national importance by lawmaker Shehu Saleh on the free movement of armed bandits in Magama, Rijau Federal Constituency in Niger State.
Further note that the bandit moved from Bangi to Gulbimboka to Warali and then to Genu, all in Rijau local government area, where in the course of their movement, they rustled cows as they went along. Concerned that the same bandits were seen heavily armed and moving freely around the constituency with no resistance from any quarters. Worried that the people of the aforementioned areas fled to Rijau town, where they are taking refuge in the internally displaced person camp. Also worried that the people from neighboring Magamandaji, Zoma, Kadarko, and Maigaraya town, for fear of their lives, have also moved to Ibetu town in Magama local government area, where they are dwelling as internally displaced persons. Desirous of addressing the menace of bandits and restoring relative peace in the areas, resolved to urge NEMA to provide relief materials to affected victims in Rijau and Ibeto camps. Urged the Chief of Defense to deploy military personnel, both the land and air component of the armed forces, to flush out bandits from the area.
Troops of Operation Hadinkai have neutralized 10 Boko Haram terrorists during a recent offensive on the terrorist enclave between Ran and Gamboru Ngala local government areas, very close to the Nigerian-Cameroon border. And this is as the military sustained its clearance operations at the southern Lake Chad region. Speaking to Channels Television in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, the theater commander, Northeast Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, says that several ammunition were recovered from the operations which took place at the border community of Nawaji. Weapons, like aircraft ammunition, ordnance weapons believed to be stolen in earlier attacks on Cameroon Defense Force were recovered. The theater commander, while praising the efforts of the troops in restoring stability, especially in the Lake Chad region and border communities, says the recent deployment of fighting equipment will boost the morale of troops and the theater, and they will not relax until the last terrorist is neutralized in the region. The Nigerian army has pledged to continue to defend the country's territorial integrity through proficiency in operations, all to help protect lives and property in the country. At an event to celebrate this year's Nigerian Army Day, the Commander, 6th Brigade, Brigadier General Kingsley Owa, says he's confident that the military will always win the war against insecurity and they will not relent until peace is restored in all parts of Nigeria.
It is a moment of sober reflection after 162 years of the existence of the Nigerian army and decades of sacrifices fighting insecurity. Dignitaries, including serving and retired military officers, alongside sister security agencies, wives of fallen heroes, and family members, gathered to appreciate the Almighty as part of activities to mark the 2025 Nigerian Army Day.
Be that as it may, how is the Nigerian Army today? If we must experience spiritual, if we must experience security, if we must experience economical transformation, then we must go back to the drawing board where the idea was initiated, which are the core values of Nigerian Army.
The commander, 6th Brigade, Brigadier General Kingsley Owa, maintains that prayer is an additional weapon in the fight against insecurity and will not relent in the face of challenges until successes are recorded and normalcy returned in all parts of the country.
As we move forward, we must remain vigilant and adaptable to the face of evolving threats. The security landscape is constantly changing, and we must be prepared to respond to the challenges with agility and foresight. Let us also remember the vital role of the community in our efforts to maintain peace and security.
For Governor Agbu-Kefas of Taraba State, the focus is on ensuring that no stone is left unturned in securing the state, as he assures the troops of increased support from his administration.
Every sector of the army, they have their area of responsibility. In Taraba State, the 6th Brigade is responsible to ensure that lives and people's livelihood is moving unhindered. And I want to state here that the Nigerian Army, in conjunction with other security agencies, have been working very, very hard, and you can see it by yourself.
The Nigerian Army also appreciates the governor for supporting the efforts of the 6th Brigade, highlighting the impact on the operations in the state.
In a truly historic moment, St. Lucia has conferred on a prestigious national honor, the Knight Commander of the Order of St. Lucia, upon President Bola Tinubu. And the esteemed recognition celebrates his exceptional leadership and profound contributions to strengthening the enduring historical and cultural bonds between Africa and the Caribbean. The solemn investiture ceremony took place on Monday. It was performed by the Governor General of St. Lucia, Errol Charles, during an official reception at the Government House. The significant event also highlights the president's ongoing state visit to the nation. In his acceptance speech, President Bola Tinubu expressed a deep gratitude to St. Lucia for the honor, remarking that he arrived in the Caribbean country as a president and will now be departing as a knight.
I am greatly honored on behalf of my country, Nigeria, standing before you to say thank you very much. I came here as a president, ordinary president. Leave other honors behind. But I'm living as a knight. It cannot be more thrilling and more exciting and welcoming than that. You are great people. One thing I must promise you with this honor and your presence here is to continue to work hard. Look at the relationship. Put honest through day's work and connect our two peoples. Make a distance shorter between Nigeria and St. Lucia, and particularly OECS. I promise you that I will work hard to achieve that. We will soon find a way to resume direct flight, cultural exchange, and all of that. We will.
Traditional rulers in the country are committing to intensifying efforts to ensure that violence against women, all forms of gender discrimination and harmful traditional practices come to an end in Nigeria. This resolution was taken during the United Nations Agency for Gender Equality and Women Empowerment meeting with traditional rulers on gender-based violence in the nation's capital, Abuja.
Thank you very much.
They need to curb gender-based violence and to promote an understanding of customs and doctrines denouncing gender-based violence in the country is the focus of this session organized by the United Nations Agency for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment.
Participants.
The meeting is part of efforts to address community-level interference and harmful social norms that hinder access to justice for victims of gender-based violence.
We cannot do this work without you. Justice does not begin in court. It begins in the communities. If cases are hidden, there can be no prosecution. If victims are shamed, there can be no truth.
Today's session is designed to equip you with knowledge, skills, tools, and of course for all of us to have a platform that will help amplify and expand what we do together. And we believe that through your help and through your support, a lot of positive outcomes can be garnered for the cause that we all seek to address, which is to end violence against women and girls.
According to the United Nations Population Fund, 31% of women have experienced physical violence and 9% have experienced sexual violence since age 15. The meeting is convened in recognition of the influence of traditional leaders in shaping societal norms, which is considered key in the effort to combat gender-based violence.
As custodians of culture and tradition, we have a responsibility to promote values that protect and empower women and girls. We must challenge harmful practices and norms that perpetuate SGB.
Gender-based violence is not only just slapping or trapping the woman. any way in which you deny her rights, legitimate rights, is taken as GB. For example, sexual violence, you're unequal within the house, but there are some things you can do that will ensure that you don't get her emasculated.
According to UN Women, the recent interventions recorded over 1,329 women and men regularly attend community programs that promote progressive gender equitable norms. Through these actions, positive behaviors that stop gender-based violence are more likely to be practiced.
In part two, after the break, federal government launches $40 million ICT project for digitizing tertiary education. Please join us again.
Welcome to Wadi Bay. The thrill is calling. Sports bets and casino games, the stakes are rising. Play your way, the chance is near. With competitive odds, the win is clear. Wadi Bet, bet smart, win big, feel alive. Lightning payouts, non-stop buys. Your journey to greatness, it's here, it's begun. Wadi Bet!
In the 21st century, Nigeria cannot be an independent nation without technology independence.
In a world racing towards the future, out of Africa is Zynox Technologies, a Nigerian tech group with major global certifications, proving capacity and a bold vision to domesticate world-class technologies.
From powering critical government infrastructure, homes and businesses, to delivering some of Africa's most integrated ICT projects, we are redefining what's possible and we take responsibility. And with our efficient high-power renewable energy solutions, we are bringing sustainable power to homes and businesses.
Let's build a stronger tech nation, powered by Zynox. Zynox. Anticipate the future.
When malaria won't show power for your side, it can knock you down. I'm a them salt gel. Like I tell you, no say, malaria medicines we don't get bad taste or bitter taste for mouth. And it easy to swallow. Try. I got red game changer. I'm a them salt gel.
Say no to malaria. Yes to life.
Dad, can I read my essay now?
After dinner, son.
It's all right. Let's have it, son.
Things I'm happy for. I'm happy that Mom smiles more now. I know she works hard and sometimes her back hurts. I don't want Mom to have a bendy back. But now, washing is easier and faster. Sometimes, Mom doesn't even have to leave the couch. I'm happy that Grandpa can finally have his favorite grilled bole anytime he wants.
Grandpa!
Life is good.
It's bole.
I remember when Dad used to rush to the fridge for a drink. I was always scared that one day he's had my feelings from thinking too hard about what to choose. Mom, Dad is frozen again! Thank God, Dad's new fridge is cool. I'm happy for my family. Our life is,
Life's good, son. Life is good. Worse than said.
Stay confident. Stay focused. Breathe through it with TomTom.
Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They're available for seasoning cube. Try them today.
The Nigerian national flag represents our country's history, culture, and identity. It was designed in 1959. The colors are Emerald Green 2.0, which represents agriculture, and Immaculate White represents unity and peace. Know how to handle our flag. Illuminate the environment or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty or tattered flag. Take such flag to the nearest National Orientation Agency office for proper disposal and replacement. The national flag can only be flown at half-mast on the directive of the federal government. The national flag must be flown at the same or higher height when displayed alongside other flags. Don't burn or allow the national flag to fall on the ground. Do not print, decorate, modify, or insert the coat of arms on the flag. Our national heroes are not buried with the flag. They are honored by presenting it to their next of kin during interment. Respect our national flag. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Polo, the reward of success.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 coming to you live on Channels Television broadcasting from Lagos. A reminder of our main stories. Concerned PDP leaders, including Atiku Abubakar, David Mark and Sule Lamido, meet in Abuja, call for broad coalition ahead of 2027 elections. St. Lucia confers its highest national honor, Knight Commander of the Order of St. Lucia, on President Bola Tinubu. House of Representatives raises alarm over armed bandits' free movement in Niger, urges Chief of Defense Staff's intervention. And Republicans in the Senate narrowly passed President Donald Trump's domestic agenda bill. The federal government has launched a $40 million ICT project aimed at digitizing and transforming tertiary education in Nigeria. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, says the project underscores a renewed national commitment to human capital development. The Blueprint ICT Development Project is funded by the France Development Agency and will be implemented across 10 federal universities.
Representatives of 10 federal universities converge on the conference hall of the National Universities Commission for the official launch of the ICT Development Project, funded by the government of France. The event begins with an overview of the project.
The project comprises of two major components. Component one, which has an allocation of about $38 million, is for the development of ICT in selected universities to improve the quality of teaching and learning.
For 8 years now, the Embassy of France in Nigeria implements projects in various fields with Nigerian universities. We currently propose activities through two funds.
The project, which evolved from the Commission's 2018 blueprint for revitalizing Nigerian universities, will be implemented across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones.
The Blueprint ICT Development Project is a component of the planned reform of the Nigerian university system and also a direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which saw Nigerian universities shut down operations, hampering teaching and learning for a protracted period.
For the Minister of Education, the initiative is designed to help universities digitize administrative systems, develop hybrid and cross-border academic programs, and strengthen transnational education linkages.
Just like ACE, in fact, the Blueprint ICT Development Project stands as a powerful example of the sort of strategic partnership we urgently need as a region to revitalize the future proof of education in Africa.
The 10 benefiting universities are the University of Calabar, University of Nigeria Nsukka, University of Ibadan, Federal University of Technology, Minna, University of Maiduguri, Bayero University, Kano, Modibo Adama University, Yola, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, and the University of Jos.
The future of our society hinges on how we nurture our youth, and collaboration is key to this vital objective. And that was the central message at the 4th annual public lecture celebrating Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye's 77th birthday, with a theme, the character and personality of educators on the outcome of Christian education. The event featured insightful lectures, various presentations, and the cutting of a special birthday cake in honor of Mrs. Adeboye. Our correspondent, Chris Illems, reports.
It's the 4th annual birthday public lecture in honor of Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye, who turned 77. Guests arrived to grace the occasion, both from the public and private sector of the economy, including royal fathers. The occasion calls for praise and worship, and singer Nathaniel Bassi leads the way. In her opening remarks, the chairperson of the occasion and wife of former Vice President Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo extols the virtue of the celebrant, calling on younger women to take a cue from her lifestyle.
Mommy Gio, your heart is known and read by us according to scripture. Your words reveal your heart, because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Mommy Gio, your heart, your words, in it we see Christ Jesus our Lord.
The guest speaker explores the theme, character and personality of educators on the outcome of Christian education.
Christian educators, schools and governments must work collaboratively to ensure that education becomes a tool not only for prosperity, but for purpose, raising godly, competent, and compassionate leaders of the future.
The celebrant, while appreciating everyone who made the event remarkable, urges students to wholeheartedly embrace learning.
Whatever name you give to your teacher, as long as you listen to his instruction and your mothers and fathers in the house as educators for you, then it will be well with you. It will be well with you. It will be well with you.
The occasion is capped by the cutting of the birthday cake. And then one more message for the road.
We are too few to do the work of remodeling our children. But if all of us come together, we understand the concept. It will be good for all these children. They are wonderful children God has given us. And Nigeria is the greatest nation I've ever seen. I've traveled all over the world, but Nigeria is the best.
Pastor Mrs. Folu Adeboye, who was born on the 13th of July 1948, has over the years remained a strong advocate of qualitative education and has pioneered various initiatives to reach millions of people in underserved communities worldwide. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
We continue the news at 10 now. Let's head over to Abuja Studios, where Terry Kumi is standing by to give us more stories. Over to you, Terry.
Well, thank you very much, Anne. Now, Vice President Kashim Shettima is giving assurances of the administration of President Bola Tinubu to continually support the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, to develop infrastructure in the nation's capital. The Vice President made the pledge at the official commissioning of the newly constructed Collector Road, which connects Obafemi Awolowo and other adjoining roads in the Dakibiyu district of Abuja.
Makes his way back to his seat at this time.
The special guest of honor, Vice President Kashim Shettima, arrives at the venue of the commissioning of Collector Road, which connects Awolowo Road and other adjoining roads in the Dakibiyu district of Abuja. Awarded in October last year, the completed road provides motorable access to residents in the community and several government institutions, including courts and the Police Service Commission.
This road that we are about to commission will ease movement, would also stimulate socio-economic growth of Dakibiyu and FCT at large.
The Minister of the FCT highlights the importance of the project and asks for further support from the government to execute more projects.
By our support, this contract was awarded last year, September, and we flagged it up October last year. Today, we are commissioning it. Your Excellency, there's no way to talk much, but to thank you for your continued support, and we continue to solicit for more support.
Vice President Kashim Shettima is representing President Bola Tinubu and assures the Minister of more support for the development of the FCT.
Every road we build, every bridge we complete, every community we connect is a prime step towards a more inclusive, more equitable Nigeria. The capital of this great nation must reflect the strength and dignity of all who call it home. We are determined to ensure that development knows no postcode, that governance does not discriminate, and that the dignity of our citizens is not defined by their geography. This administration remains steadfast in its support for the FCTA. Will continue to provide the resources, policy backing, and institutional cooperation needed to ensure that projects like this are delivered on time and to the highest standards.
Situated about 6 kilometers from the Abuja city center, Dakibiu district is home to thousands of Abuja residents as well as government institutions who will benefit from the completed project. Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's business growth slows to 7-month low as cost pressures persist despite easing inflation. That's on business news. So stay with us.
Enter the aviator mode and fly into a new experience. Find how far you can go in Crash Games. Betano, the game starts now.
Trust Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion to reveal your skin's natural radiance. The same unique formula, enriched with berry extracts, even tone complex, and UV filters. To reduce dark spots and even out your skin tone. For radiant and even toned skin, say hello again to Nivea Perfect and Radiant Body Lotion. Try the full Nivea Perfect and Radiant range to unlock your most radiant self.
Chef. Mr. Chef, what's your secret?
My secret is the wide range of seasoning powders from Mr. Chef. Perfect for meals such as spicy stew, goat meat, roasted beef, fried rice, and kuka.
Unleash your inner chef and explore our wide range of Mr. Chef seasoning powder.
Polo, the reward of success.
Welcome to Wadibe. The thrill is gone. Sports bets and casino games, the stakes are rising. Play your way, the chance is near. With competitive odds, the win is clear. Wadibe, bet smart, win big, feel alive. Lightning payouts, non-stop buys. Your journey to greatness, it's here, it's begun.
Welcome back to the news at 10. The need to maintain academic excellence in Nigeria's tertiary education system has once again been emphasized. This was the core of presentations as the Chemical Engineering Department, Faculty of Technology of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, celebrated its 55th anniversary, which held at the school's premises. The Vice Chancellor of the university thanked faculty, alumni, and students for maintaining high academic standards despite the challenging times.
It's the 55th anniversary celebration of the Chemical Engineering Department, Faculty of Technology of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, which also doubles as the launch of its anniversary book, an endowment fund. Present here to mark this milestone are the university's Vice-Chancellor, faculty and departmental heads, and His Royal Highness David Serena Dokubo Spave, Amadabo of Spave Town, and students of the institution. The head of Chemical Engineering Department of the university welcomes everyone.
Let this anniversary not only honor our past, but ignite a new era of excellence and relevance.
Professor Anthony Adegoke, the chairman of the occasion, while giving his opening remarks, says the department has surmounted challenges.
The Department of Chemical Engineering OAU not only maintains its proud legacy, but rises to even greater heights, contributing solutions to Nigeria's challenges and making global impact.
For the Vice-Chancellor, the institution has maintained its tradition of excellence.
It's not a celebration of years, but a recognition of consistent academic excellence, impactful research, dedicated service, and an enduring legacy of innovation and nation building.
Speaking on the topic, rebuilding the broken wall, reviving national capabilities for economic development, the keynote speaker points out the current state of affairs and harps on the urgent need for the institution to climb to its enviable position.
Let us agree the path forward, a roadmap to rebuild and restore our center of excellence to its rightful place, dignity, and honor.
The book reviewer, drawing from the last chapter of the book, speaks of the main reason for the gathering.
The department could benefit from an ambitious and well-managed endowment from its alumni, companies, and private institutions. This will go a long way to boost the department's quality of learning, financial standing, infrastructure, research capacity, and prestige.
The convener is of the belief that everyone should contribute to the restoration of quality education in the country.
Make sure that the young people are very well trained in modern technology, in things that will propel this nation to greater heights.
Support this endowment fund. It will be much needed to see that this department continues to produce the excellent minds that they have been producing all these years.
Presentations at the 55th anniversary celebration of the Chemical Engineering Department of the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, are all directed at how quality and well-funded tertiary education can contribute to solving national challenges.
Now, as part of its commitment to contribute to the development and well-being of its host communities, the West Africa Container Terminal, WACT, has graduated 581 trainees from the WACT Business Development and Entrepreneurial Training Program for their two host communities of Ogu and Onne in Rivers State. According to WACT, this is a way of developing its host communities.
Gathered in this hall in Ogu Community, Rivers State, are natives who are small business owners. They are the 385 beneficiaries of the APM West Africa Container Terminals Business Development and Entrepreneurial Training Program for Ogu Community.
Let's get ready.
The company's MD says WACT uses programs such as this to make a difference in the host community and that there's a lot more to come.
But then how do you make a difference to the community? It is through these programs. You know, people like me, we leave our families and come work here. So my company, my employees are my family. But how do I get a bigger family? So I'm a little selfish here, right? How do I get a bigger family? Today, I have 380 more family members here. My dream is that WACT is in each and every heart, and we touch each and every family in the coming years.
The second benefiting community is One, where the same is replicated for their own natives, even as the company talks up how important community empowerment is to the company.
This is really important to us, that we empower the community where we are doing business. And so what better way to do it than some of the things that we're already doing, including the Workpreneur program. And the Workpreneur program is to empower people to be able to manage their small businesses in a way that they can turn profits.
The community relations manager explains that a total of 581 people have benefited directly from the program across both communities.
We started the training in 2023. We have 3 sets that graduate today. We actually postponed it because we want to have the size number to have them for the graduation. So today we have 196 of them that will graduate today.
Some of the beneficiaries expressed their excitement and readiness to put their newly acquired knowledge to good use.
They taught us how to do business, how to know the people, how to associate with your customers, how to get your goods intact and whatsoever. It's very nice going to the training. It's very nice being in the training.
What really do very good things for us. They've done well. They've given us what we could not provide for ourselves.
The beneficiaries are then presented with their certificates and starter packs, with the hope being that they can now apply their knowledge to their businesses. Charles Soporum, Channels Television News.
And that's all from the nation's capital. Back to Anne in Lagos.
Thank you, Terry. Returning champion Iwereko Community Senior High School, Lakowe in Ibeju-Lekki area of Lagos, has emerged winner of the 9th Toleram Science Challenge. Well, the science-based competition among schools in the Ibeju-Lekki area is sponsored by Lagos Free Zone, a subsidiary of Toleram, one of the leading conglomerates in Nigeria. The Chief Sustainability Officer of Lagos Free Zone, Mr. Vishal Shah, and the company's Director of Finance and Operations, Mr. Ashish Kemka, says the competition is part of the Lagos Free Zone's corporate social responsibility initiative to help develop and promote science-based subjects among students of local communities.
It's the grand finale of the 9th Toleram Science Challenge, powered by Lagos Free Zone, a subsidiary of Toleram Group. Special guest. Here to witness the moment are the management staff of Lagos Free Zone, invited guests, teachers, mentors, and students. After 1 week of competition among 96 participating students across 16 secondary schools in the Ibeju-Lekki axis of Lagos State, it's down to the defending champions, Iwereko Community Senior High School, facing Ibeju Senior High School in the finals.
The movement of manufactured food substances and plants from the leaves to other parts of the plant is termed belch. Translocation. That's correct.
With about 10 questions for both contending sides, a winner emerged. It's time for the reward for their hard work. The third runner-up is Community Senior High School Idata Ilagbo with 300,000 naira as prize money. Second runner-up is Community Senior High School Akodo Orofun with 350,000 naira. First runner-up, Ibeju Senior High School, gets 400,000 naira, while the winner, Iwereko Community Senior High School, goes home with 500,000 naira.
I'm very happy. It's not easy to come back to win the first year and then you come back again and win. So, like, I think back to back twice, this is very, very great. We cannot attribute it to any man but God. And number two, I attribute it to teamwork and focus.
We started in 2016 and today we have listened at least 5 students, those who have participated in 2016 and 17. They are very ahead in their career. Civil engineers, one person, he topped the Lagos State University in logistic business. Others are doing a job in Canada and US also, nursing and all these things. So it gives immense pride and emotional also, like what we thought of is actually coming out.
Definitely, we do have a plan to expand it. We want to conquer the place locally first in the, I would say, impact area, which we talk about in the Ebeju area itself. We started this event a long back. Gradually, we have increased the school from 12, 14, and now 16. We have a plan to increase it to further 20, and then maybe take it at a state level, and then take it up to the national level itself. And we want to make this like a pride event for the country itself.
Other participants also got gifts, plus recognition for the school teachers and mentors. Lagos Free Zone Management says Tolerant Science Challenge will not relent in creating science champions for Nigeria's future.
Find out the level of business activities recorded in Nigeria, and Will Ibong is ready to take us through those stories in the world of business. Thank you, Anne. Now, business activity in Nigeria dropped to its lowest level in 7 months in June, according to Stanbic IBTC's Purchasing Managers Index. And the PMI declined to 51.6 from 52.7 in May, reflecting the weaker output, new orders, and purchasing activity. The slowdown comes even as inflation shows signs of easing. Nigeria's inflation rate fell to 22.97% in May, its second consecutive decline, as reforms begin to take effect. Analysts say price pressures in key sectors like food, utilities, and healthcare are softening. However, firms continue to face high operating costs, with purchase prices still rising, albeit at the slowest pace in over 2 years. The Nigeria's Employers Consultative Association, NECA, has commended President Bola Tinubu as well as fiscal authorities for intervening and capping the Financial Reporting Council FRC levy at 25 million naira for public interest entities. The Director General of NECA, Mr. Adewale Smart-Oyerinde, who made the commendation on our Business Morning program, says although the matter has now been resolved, some other issues are yet to be tackled.
Engagement, one of the best we have seen in this climb, where facts, figures, data played a major role in resolving this issue. There are other silent issues that we are also engaging. We are receiving very positive response from government. The investment going on in the trade and investment space. Reforms going on in the Ministry of Interior with the immigration and the new immigration processes. And our engagement has been constructive, and it gladdens our heart that at least people are listening. The ministries are listening, the agencies are listening, and we are co-creating structures through our own positive recommendations. We are co-creating structures that will not only support local businesses, but also make the environment a bit more hospitable for business. And the more it's hospitable for business, the easier for employees to also feel the impact of the business. The more the international community will also feel comfortable to come invest in Nigeria.
Now, Nigeria needs an extra $31.5 billion each year to meet its development goals by 2030, and that's according to the African Development Bank's latest country focus report. The total annual requirement stands at $47.6 billion for infrastructure, innovation, and public services. The AFDB blames low tax revenues, weak public finance systems, and overdependence on oil for the shortfall, despite reforms like fuel subsidy removal and a market-driven exchange rate. Nigeria's tax-to-GDP ratio remains at just 5.2%, the lowest in West Africa. AFDB warns that unless Nigeria broadens its tax base and boosts compliance, its over-reliance on oil and borrowing will continue to strain public finances. Now let's check in on the domestic stock market, which opened the first trading day in the month of July negative on sell-offs in Dangote Cement. Ladiwi, tell us more.
Hello and welcome. There's the first trading day of the second half of 2025. And July is the closer summary there. And yes, it's starting off down 0.20%. I guess we're piggybacking off that flattish negative close. That was yesterday for the last trading day of June. So we're still at 119,000 points there. And we see the market mover today. That's Dangote Cement. That's in manufacturing, distribution and sale of cement and related products in Nigeria. Started the year at about 394 naira per share. So it hasn't done much, this year. That's for the first half. And that's talking about price action. So let's see, maybe we see some interesting movement there for the second half. We also have the likes of Zenith Bank, GTCO adding to the drop in the all-share index today. So fingers crossed, let's see how the market plays out tomorrow.
Thank you, Ladi. Now let's see how other major global stock markets performed at the close of business. And that's business news. It's back to you, Anne.
Thank you, Will. Republicans in the U.S. Senate have narrowly passed President Donald Trump's mega bill on tax and spending, meaning the proposed legislation have cleared one of its key hurdles. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act passed with Vice President J.D. Vance casting a tie-breaking vote, and that's after more than 24 hours of debate. It's now head back to the House or lower chamber, where it will now face more opposition. An earlier version was cleared by House Republicans by a single vote margin. Here's Simon Pise with more international news in Around the World in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the Channel studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. 2 people have died in Italy as temperatures continue to soar amid an intense heatwave across Europe. Spain has had its hottest June on record with 46 Celsius registered at El Granado a day after records were broken in Mora. Elsewhere on the continent, tens of thousands of people have been evacuated because of wildfires in western Turkey, while the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris has been closed because of the heatwave.
The main reason we've got really high temperatures across southern Europe at the moment is due to something called a heat dome. And that's where we've got an area of high pressure that's got blocked. And with high pressure, the air is descending. And when air is descending, it means that we're not going to see any clouds forming. We're not going to see any unsettled weather, but we are tending to see the air getting trapped. And when the air is sinking, it warms. There's something called adiabatic warming as well. And we end up with a situation where day on day, if the high pressure gets stuck where it is, which is what's happening, we get homegrown heating adding to that. So we've already got high temperatures because of the time of year. But the longer the high pressure stays in place, the temperatures keep rising day by day because the heat dome is almost acting like the lid in a pot and it's trapping that hot air underneath it.
More than 130 charities and other NGOs are calling for the controversial Israeli and US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation to be shut down. Over 500 Palestinians have been killed while seeking aid since the GHF started operating in late May, following Israel's 3-month blockade of Gaza. The organizations, including Oxfam, Save the Children and Amnesty, say Israeli forces and armed groups routinely open fire on Palestinians seeking aid. Israel denies its soldiers deliberately shoot at aid recipients and has defended the GHF system, saying it provides direct assistance to people who need it, bypassing Hamas interference. Thailand's Constitutional Court has suspended the Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, who has come under mounting pressure to resign over her leaked phone conversation with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen. The clip in which Paetongtarn called him uncle and criticised a Thai military commander sparked public anger and a petition for her dismissal, which the court is now considering. That could make Paetongtarn the third politician in the powerful Shinawatra clan, which has dominated Thai politics for the past 2 decades, to lose power before completing their term. 4 employees of a satirical magazine in Turkey have been arrested for publishing a cartoon that appears to show the Prophet Muhammad, a sacred religious figure whose depiction is forbidden in Islam. Riot police were deployed in Istanbul as hundreds of people protested against the publication. Turkey's Interior Minister condemned Le Mans magazine's drawing, announcing that its editor-in-chief, graphic designer, institutional director and cartoonist had all been detained. Le Mans denied its cartoon was a caricature of Muhammad, saying the work does not refer to the Prophet Muhammad in any way. Danish women now face being called up for 11 months of military service when they turn 18, after a change in the law came into effect. Under new rules passed by Denmark's parliament, women are to join teenage males in a lottery system that could require them to undertake a period of conscription. The change was brought in as NATO countries boost defence spending amid heightened security concerns in Europe. Up to now, women were allowed to participate in military service when they turned 18, but on a voluntary basis. Footage has emerged after a father jumped into the ocean to save his daughter when she fell from the fourth deck of a Disney cruise ship traveling from the Bahamas to the US. Videos showed passengers cheering as the two were pulled onto a rescue boat after apparently treading water for 10 minutes. The girl appeared to fall when her father took her picture against a railing. A man overboard alert was broadcast on the ship, and crew rushed to recover them. And hikers at a mountain in South Korea found an unexpected surprise at the summit, a huge swarm of love bugs. In a video shared on social media, a hiker who visited the mountain is seen covered in the small insects and swatting them away with an electric bug zapper. Love bugs, given the name due to their habit of flying around in pairs, have been appearing in large numbers across parts of South Korea in the last few years. It is believed that rising temperatures are spurring on their spread. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.
Many thanks indeed, Simon, and welcome to Sports News. Despite buying out of the group stage, African clubs who participated at the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup will share $45.5 million, according to reports. South African side, Mamelody's most expensive goalkeeper in history after a £71 million move from Chelsea. After a £71 million move from Chelsea. From Atletico Bilbao in 2018. He's expected to act as backup to establish Arsenal #1, David Raya. From football to tennis, where defending Wimbledon champion Barbora Krejcikova powered back from a set down to beat Philippine star Alexandra Ella in the first round of the competition earlier today. The Czech was outplayed in the first set, but lost just 3 more games as she completed a 3-6, 6-2, 6-1 win on a baking center court. And that's sports. I am Kelly Egiga. He's back to Anne.
Thank you, Kelly. And just before we go, a delegation of the federal government of Nigeria has attended the burial of renowned business icon and elder statesman Alhaji Aminu Dantata in the Islamic holy city of Medina, Saudi Arabia, led by the Minister of Defense and former governor of Jigawa State, Alhaji Muhammad Badar Abubakar. The official delegation included the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development, Yusuf Abdullahi, and others. Alhaji Dantata died on Saturday in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, at the age of 94. And the main news again. Concerned PDP leaders, including Atiku Abubakar, David Mark, and Sule Lamido, have met in Abuja and called for broad coalition ahead of 2027 elections. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Anne Mwawadu. Good night, and please stay safe.
Hello and welcome to Political Paradigm. I'm Terry Ikumi. Today we have a lot to speak about with regard to politics, and I'm joined by one of the major players in Nigeria's political history as the chairman of the Senate's Committee on Southeast Development Commission and the former governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu. Welcome to Political Paradigm.
Thank you, Terry.
So let me begin like this. From the APC national chairman's resignation,